Tokyo nights, neon lights, lost in the city, another life. Drinking sake, feeling right. Got faded in Japan, what a sight.
What's up, faders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny.
And I'm your co-host, Tom Tokyo.
That's right, and as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about two dudes, booze,
And in the news.
That's right, faders. And this is episode number 754. And actually, faders, we got to be completely honest with you. There's no booze today. There's absolutely no booze. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. It's our only time to squeeze in a podcast in our busy, hectic schedules here in Tokyo. So yeah, it's the coffee podcast, I guess. I'm drinking coffee. What are you drinking, Tom?
Black coffee. I got some tea lined up as well.
Chuhai?
Tea.
Oh, tea. Sorry, man. Hard to hear. Yeah.
Although I am kind of tempted because work got canceled because I do work 6 days a week.
Oh my God. What, are you drinking every day again? Or I thought you kind of like cooled down on the booze for a minute.
Did. I absolutely did.
Okay, cool. All right.
I can't really drink after work because like I'm in a car the entire time. I don't think they would like me drinking, in the car.
You can drink in a car as long as you're not driving.
I don't think it would be appreciated in a professional setting. Although that said, like with the boss,
Work in construction, dude. That's part of the job.
That's the thing. Maybe not at work, but then again, actually, the fucking boss, like we were just like chilling out, like in like near Yokohama in one of the suburbs, and like we're doing our thing and blah blah blah, and he's like, all right, let's go. So we don't have an option outside, so we just hop back in the truck, and like I just like my lunch that my wife packed for me. Like I posted pictures. I mean, she fucking did a beautiful job. I love my wife. She awesome. She amazing.
She's awesome.
But anyway,
yeah, everybody loves her.
Or whatever. And the fucking boss is like, I'm gonna go to the convenience store. You're lucky your wife packed your lunch for you. I'm like, cool. And whatever. He comes back and he just like walks back. He just like hops back in the driver's seat and just cracks open a beer and starts drinking. I'm like, dude. It wasn't even trying to like, yeah, I'm gonna have a beer for lunch. I'm like,
that's what they do in Germany, man. In Germany, yeah. Beer is food in Germany, Johnny. First thing I learned right off the plane, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I love German life. So yeah, man, if your boss is that cool, yeah, I'm sure drinking on the way home is not a big deal. Oh man. Oh yeah, drinking during the day.
I just old habits because like I moved, I'm turning over a new page and this that, all the other stuff is going on.
Okay. Yo, wait, listen. I think I figured out what the problem is with the lag. I think after I say something, wait a second before you start talking, because I think like for some reason it's hard for like for Zoom to pick it up. So if I stop saying something, wait a second before you reply or you add to it, okay? Because like the first couple of words that you say, I think it's getting cut off.
Okay, I gotcha. Like I can roll with that. Like so maybe ping pong a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Ping pong. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, ping pong, tennis, not golf. All right, cool. So, all right, you're still working in construction. Everything's good for you doing that. Life is happy. The kid is happy. The family's happy. Tell us about your new house in the deep, deep, deep suburbs. Very, very shortly, Tom. Very shortly.
Okay.
And keep G-rated.
Had you changed that
Triple XG.
The last job was not going to work out because like it's like fucking hella far. So I had to switch jobs, which is fine because the new job I got is not bad. And dude, I got what I always wanted. I'm chanto shain. Means I'm a upper employee, which means I cannot be fired, and it's a job for life.
How did you score that?
I don't know. Like that's what they offered me, and I fucking took it.
Like we're gonna hire you by your extensive resume of millions of jobs that you were fired from, and we're going to give you a job for life. And you're like, yeah, I'll take it. Do I get health insurance?
No, because there was so much like chaos and shit going on. Like I wasn't even going to take this job because I offered a shitload of money to be a carpenter.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah, and I was gonna fucking take it because they offered me a lot of money just to be like entry-level carpenter, like a trainee. And I'm thinking about this, like, fucking carpentry, that's a useful skill.
Yes.
Yeah, and like the lot of money, and like the guy, the boss man was like really cool. He sat down and he bought me dinner, and we just had dinner together, and we just like really informal. And like I was absolutely gonna take it, so I'm blowing stuff off. And then I did like another interview the next day, and like, it was an okay-ish offer, but I was like, it's a teeny tiny company with 3 employees, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't sound real stable. But like, I got offered the carpentry job, but I'm like, yeah, this is a lot of money, but like they want me to study like off duty, and like, if you get your skills up, you can get a big raise and blah blah blah. It's really nebulous. So I was just like blowing everything off. Then I finally went to an interview on Saturday, and I was like, you should go to the interview, get it. I don't fucking care. I'm just gonna call them up and cancel. So I found a fucking job. I was like, you should go. And I was like, all right. So I'm in fucking dirty, like, just fucking greasy, like nasty pants, like jeans that are like all fucking covered in concrete. And like they didn't fucking care. I'm just like walking around there. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking awesome. Hire me. I got experience. And they're like, yeah, that's cool. And like, here's what we're offering you. And like, it's not quite as much money, but it's a lot more stable. And it's a company of 40 people. And like the job's not that bad. I'm still in construction, but like, I think my working title is like geological assistant.
Geological assistant. Out of all the jobs you've ever had, and of all the jobs I would think that you would have, geological assistant would be not on that list. Not at all, dude. Oh my gosh, a geological assistant. What does that mean? You get to dig? You're a digger?
Yeah, digger, right?
Yeah.
Digger, motherfucker.
Wait. Is that like calling like a housewife a domestic engineer? Is that the same thing?
You're onto something, quite possibly, because like I don't know shit for shit about dirt. Some of the other guys that are more experienced, but we basically set up this like giant tripod with these machines, and they just like dig down. Because weird thing about Japan is like they're so crazy about the safety standards. To build anything, to build a house, to build tunnels underground, they've got to like collect soil samples. So we set up this like machine on a tripod, which is like a couple tons. We got to like move it with cranes and everything, and it just goes bang, 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 bang. And it's not even that hard. I'm just go, okay, go here, do this, do that. I'm learning it. We just collect soil samples and chuck them in bags. That's all I do all day.
You're a digger.
Not bad, like, 6 days a week, but like I per day, I only do a couple hours of work collecting soil samples. That's it.
Oh.
And if you think about it, like that's not a bad sample to collect. I think it's some really disgusting samples that I would not want to collect. Put it that way.
But like bodies?
Yeah, bodies or bodily fluids, or then again, I guess that's what my book's going to be about.
Dude, that is absolutely the funniest thing you've heard you say all year. I don't know shit about dirt. There should be a t-shirt. I don't know shit about dirt.
Man, opportunity knocked and I called. The only thing that's bad is like the commute time kind of blows. I gotta get up at 5 in the morning, and like I'm not back until late sometimes. But like most of the time, it's just like sit in a car. Just I have to go like 40 or 45 minutes to another station. They just like pick me up and run the train station. Go.
Well,
like,
so the hours suck, the pay is good, the work is decent, and so you're happy. You're living in the suburbs. You're kind of like a Japanese American Fred Flintstone, a modern Fred Flintstone per se.
I think you could make a very strong case about like, yeah, that's pretty much me.
Oh fuck, does that make me Barney Rubble? Shit.
Think about it, dude, because I'm the tall guy, you're the short guy.
Yeah, you got a point. Oh man, Barney was cool. Barney's wife was way hotter than Fred's wife too. Betty.
I'm gonna have to give you that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Fred's wife was so domestic, you know? I mean, Barney's wife, what was her name? Her name was Pebble? Was it Pebble? Or no, Pebble was the kid.
Pebble was the daughter.
The daughter. Barney and Rocky. Was it Rocky? Betty, was it Betty Rubble? I think it might have been Betty Rubble.
Wilma. Wilma.
No, Wilma was Fred's wife. Wilma!
Did you ever
Yeah.
They're smoking like Winston cigarettes. They're just like puffing away at work, right? Back in the '60s, where no one just gave a fuck.
Yeah, you could smoke, you could drink. Oh God.
Good.
Dude, when I
Smoke,
first
awesome.
I know when I first came here, you could smoke and drink almost well, you still can drink almost anywhere, but you used to be able to smoke anywhere. You could smoke except for on the trains. You could smoke on the platforms. You could smoke around the shrines, believe it or not. They would have ashtrays. Not like next to the buildings, but in the facility and stuff. Yeah, which is not I'm smoking near a shrine is a horrible thing. Don't do it. Oh my God. But
Well, for the most part, you could smoke just about anywhere. Like you could smoke on the street more or less, as long as you're not
go ahead.
like huffing smoke in people's face. But
Mhm.
they didn't want you walking and smoking because you could burn if you just cruising down the street puffing away, like you could possibly burn somebody. But
Yeah.
like long as you we're not an asshole about it. But like it's been tamped down, but I still like at the same time like I don't think they care as much. It's not like wow they're cutting down on smoking, but like
Oh, they're enforcing all sorts of new rules in the next year, man. There's like, I mean, from the news that we're going to read, there's like a huge amount of rules that's gonna like kind of like pop up and stuff for like cyclists, pedestrians, tourists, etiquette laws. It's crazy. We'll get into that in a minute, but yeah, that's pretty crazy. Speaking of tourism and like summer activities and stuff, we're experiencing a horrific city killer typhoon. It's absolutely insane. It's the most like deadly and destructive typhoon that's hit Japan in years and years and years supposedly, and it's slow. It's moving so slow. The name of this typhoon is called Shin Shin, which is interesting because Shinda means what? Shinda means death, doesn't it?
it means I died or somebody died.
Yeah, somebody died, right? So it's like it's kind of appropriate in a morbid way, but yeah, this typhoon it started at the very bottom of the southwest part of Japan, and then from Kyushu, and it's going all the way up very slowly and very strongly and intensely. I'm just going through Japan, like prefecture by prefecture by prefecture by prefecture, and it's so slow that it started in Japan like 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, and now it's going to take another 2 days before it reaches Tokyo. So it's slowly going through. What's up?
Longer. But this shit's been brewing. But like I was going nuts because like a week ago, like I had like a week off for Obon week, which is like kind of holiday. And like I was kind of pissed because like you interviewed Brian, and I was actually supposed to meet him after that, but like the typhoon fucked that up, and I was
That was
pissed,
a
man.
different typhoon.
Yeah, it was a different typhoon, but that was a fucking week ago though. And I was
Yeah.
kind of pissed because I was like, motherfucker, I got a week off and I'm working 6 days a week. I just wanted to hang out with him and like do what we do, which is geek out about comic books. Of course, he
Yeah,
had to
love Brian.
fuck that up. He had to cancel out, which I'm not pissed about. It's like normally I'd be like, yo, dude, what the fuck? But like, I get it. It's an extreme situation, so I ain't hating on him for it.
Yeah.
But like,
Well, actually, he was really busy because he had some family stuff and he's moving. So he's moving from East Tokyo to West Tokyo, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but I mean, it's actually a really big deal, as you know. So,
like
but
I
anyway,
forgot moving sucked.
huh? What?
I moved recently because I moved from like Nakameguro where you're at,
Uh-huh.
but like moved down to like I'm in one of the suburbs of Yokohama, but it's like just barely Yokohama. It's on the border, and like man, it fucking sucks. I forgot how
So,
badly.
all right, before we talk about like your neighborhood and your move, let's talk a little bit more about this about Shin Shin, the typhoon. This typhoon is absolutely horrific. We've been getting videos from like faders and from people that have been watching like, well, I've been getting some photos, but I've been getting a lot of like what you call it, links sent to me from TikTok. And yeah, dude, it's pretty hardcore. There's people in the streets swimming. There's people in the streets swimming. There's one guy that's making a bunch of videos where he's wearing like scuba gear and he's swimming in the streets because the water is like the water's like I think like maybe like 4 feet and maybe a meter, a little over a meter deep and stuff. And it is pretty insane. Apparently, there's like stations that are flooded and stuff, and it's causing a lot of damage. It's quite serious. So when it reaches Tokyo, it I don't know. Actually, what do you think? When it reaches Tokyo, do you think it's gonna like lose some of its intensity, or do you think it's gonna like kind of like ramp up and like really be aggressive?
I would say it's a wait and see because we only find out about this shit during the aftermath because like you never know how bad it's gonna go. But
Yeah,
like the last
shit. Yeah.
a week ago was like really bad. I think I forget which two stations. Like, damn it, like this is kind of this podcast is being done a little bit ad hoc. So like, you know, it was like you and me meeting for the podcast was kind of kept a little bit nebulous, unfortunately. But like you're busy, I'm busy. Like no disrespect, but like I wish I would have saved a couple of the news stories because like the last one that happened the week on Friday, like dude, it actually flooded a couple of the subway stations.
Well,
And
it's
like
been raining a
yeah,
lot in Tokyo, or like I guess like the Kanta area and stuff. It's been raining like
and
heavily
like
every day. It's like
yeah, and
hurricane.
like they couldn't fucking deal with it. The staff were like running out and like, you know, trying to close floodgates, trying to close sections of down there, throwing out sandbags and all kinds of crazy shit.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be nuts. Hopefully it's not that intense here, you know. I mean, shit, dude. I don't know. In Tokyo, the thing is about Tokyo, any amount of weather that's kind of like off the norm, people freak out. People drive crazily. People they just go nuts, you know. There's like snow. Like if it snows like 2 centimeters, I mean the city's like almost on shutdown, right? The trains stop or whatever. Oh my gosh. I can definitely imagine all the trains stopping if the typhoon is half as big as it is in like West Japan right now. Like, I mean, basically, I mean, if you're in Tokyo, if you're on vacation, if you're like whatever in the area, yeah, just stay home for a couple of days once the typhoon comes in. You know, I mean, you've got your Netflix, you know, go to the convenience store, get your booze, buy a couple extra bottles of shochu and stuff. Speaking of shochu, man, holy smokes. Shochu, dude, I think is decreased in prices because it's not so popular because everybody's buying whiskey these days. Dude, I bought a bottle of shochu, the normal shochu that I get and stuff. And dude, it was like I'm almost positive it's like about 100 or maybe 200 yen off. I was like, what? Dude, shochu's the drink, man. So if you're trying to save some money, forget about whiskey. We love whiskey. Forget about gin. Gin's increased in price, but yeah, definitely get some shochu. Holy smokes. It's
Yeah,
great stuff too.
it's really good. Like they've got some nice seasonal ones. So they've got like, you know, the cold stuff for the summer and they got the hot stuff for the winter. I would go for the emo or the one made out of potatoes, which would basically be like Japanese vodka. It's made out of potatoes, but like, you know,
Basically.
just like some of the red ones and some of the sweet potatoes, it's got more polyphenol in it.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
nice.
it's so good. It's so good. So
Like,
basically, stock up on shochu. Go to the store. Shochu's cheap. Get as much shochu as you can. I mean, dude, you could probably buy like what, 4 or 5 bottles for Gosen yen or something. Easy, right? And that will last you a while. Trust me, right? Get some foods, you know? Hmm?
nice stuff. It's like Japanese vodka. Usually it's shochu runs around like 20 or 30% proof.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
yeah, you can drink it how you want. You can throw some ice in there. You can throw some hot water in there, depending on the seasonal. Or
We're gonna talk
you
about
can
shochu.
put a little bit of lemon juice in there or
Yeah.
something. There's different ways to drink it. Like actually, like if you're a newbie on shochu, what I recommend is like there's a lot of shochu bars you can go to, or just hanging out with Japanese people in general and just start asking them. So like, you know, especially a lot of the old geezers because they
Old
know,
geezer.
man. So like, yeah, I'm looking for a good shochu. You just tell them what you like, and they're like, oh yeah, yeah man, let me hook you up, bro. Like you need this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 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 definitely. We should do a shochu episode where we do shochu sampling or something. That might be a good idea, actually. Yeah, because everybody comes to Japan, like all the tourists when they come to Japan, they're like sake, 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 and then you say shochu, and they're like shoes, and you're like, no, 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 not shoes, shochu, you know. And then you explain what shochu is and stuff, and then once somebody has shochu, they're like, holy shit, I had no idea. And you're like, yep, there you go, shochu. So get some shochu for this typhoon disaster that may or may not hit Tokyo. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it just like fades away before it reaches Tokyo. But yeah. So all right. Now that we talked about the typhoon, let's talk about your neighborhood. So in your neighborhood, do you have a lot of izakayas, a lot of bars, convenience stores? Are your neighbors cool? Like Tom, you've got 2 minutes. You've got 120 seconds. Go.
Parks galore. Do we have like izakayas or anything? Nope.
Oof.
It's not bad. But there's still convenience stores. Like everything, we've got everything we need. There's hardware stores. There's like recycling shops, used goods stores. We got like cheap supermarket. Dude, like you wouldn't believe it, dude. Like the supermarkets are like good, like 20 shave like 20 or 30% off the top
On meats?
on everything. Just about.
Whoa.
It's so much. Yeah, I don't even fucking know this shit, dude. We're in like a proper 2-story house. It's like at least twice the size of my previous place, and
Nice.
like 2/3 the rent. I'm like, yeah, it's like, stuff's far further, and like, gotta walk to the train station, gotta do this, gotta do that. But like, yo, it's good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, houses in Japan, once you leave like the major cities like Tokyo and Osaka, are really, really affordable. I mean, they're really for there's a guy that I follow on Instagram, right? And this guy, he's an Australian guy that actually works in construction in Australia. And then he comes to Japan and he buys houses. So there's videos of him going through like the countryside, like in little small little islands and stuff, just going through houses and then buying houses. And he buys houses where like people died inside or people just abandoned. And he finds like samurai swords and all sorts of like crazy photos and stuff. I mean, it's pretty wild, dude. You can get houses here for super cheap. In a way, it's kind of similar to Detroit, but the houses here I think are better.
They're nice. It's more peaceful, put it that way. Yeah, the neighbors are
Better
cool. Like
neighborhoods.
Kanagawa area is actually arguably one of the most open places in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Kanagawa?
Yeah. Because like there's this whole thing like Kanagawa Prefecture is the only prefecture that has anti-hate speech laws in the entirety of Japan. So
What's
if
up?
you're like anti-hate speech, like laws.
Wait, what are we talking about? Like wait, how do we go from your home to hate speech? Sorry, I missed something. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like the area is open, like they're so accepting of foreigners. Like they
Oh,
actually anti-hate speech laws in Kanagawa. So if you're some racist dickbag, you can't just get on a pulpit and say "fuck all the foreigners" and fucking kick them all out, then go back to their own fucking country. You can't do that. You can get fined like a lot of money.
holy smokes. Are
Yeah,
you
so
okay there? You better keep your mouth shut, Tom.
it's cool. Like they're really open about foreigners. Like my neighbors are super sweet. Now that said, like living in Tokyo is not bad because there's so many goddamn foreigners. Like especially like we were living like Nakameguro. Like people are just used to you. Like most of the Japanese people that I interact with on a regular basis, even actually let's put it like regular casual basis, they're just like, oh okay, you speak Japanese, that's cool.
Mhm.
Like you're sort of used to foreigners. We're fucking dime a dozen, but like oh, another thing I can tell you here. Do you know about the nod?
Oh, the gaijin nod?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the gaijin nod. Nobody does it anymore in Tokyo. You see a gaijin, they're like, ew, tourist.
Well, that's the thing though, because like, well, I didn't know about you because like I'm not knocking your like knowledge about Japan because you've been here slightly longer than I have, which is 20 plus years.
Forever.
But like I said that to one of my friends who'd been here a long time. But like, there's this kind of unwritten rule that if you're a gaijin in Japan and you're obviously you wouldn't be doing this shit in Tokyo because like fucking foreigners are everywhere. You're gonna like your fucking neck's gonna snap off from like from all the headbanging. We're nod. But
True.
like now that I'm here and like in Kanagawa, a little bit in the country, and there's not so many gaijin here. Like it's kind of proper etiquette if you see another gaijin, like a Western non-Asian person, like you see him walking down the street or in the supermarket, like you kind of like you give him a nod or you might say hello. You like acknowledge their presence. It's kind of proper etiquette. You don't
Wow.
have to. You don't have to necessarily run up to him and become best friends. Although I do talk to him because it's like well fuck, I'm new in the area. I might as well network, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you obviously wouldn't be doing that in Tokyo or
No,
any of
God, no. Jeez.
the. It'd be weird to be fucking creepy.
Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah. That don't do that in Tokyo. But yeah. Back in the day and stuff, when there was like very few like international people here. Like when I came here, I mean, dude, I remember like I would go to Hachiko, right? And Hachiko is like the dog statue, if you don't know. And I would go there to meet my friends. I'm like, let's meet at Hachiko. And then they're like, Johnny, where are you? And I'm like, I'm the foreign guy, right? And that was kind of like my thing, like, where are you, Johnny? I'm at Hachiko. I'm like, look around, I'm the foreign guy. Because there are so very few foreign international people in Japan that whenever I said I was the foreign guy in Hachiko, they're like, oh, okay, that's you, right? But now you can't even do that anywhere, absolutely anywhere in Tokyo. Even
No,
now,
even she's like complaining about that because she's like she doesn't hate foreigners, but at the same time she's kind of annoyed because she has to go to Shibuya like and cross Hachiko like once a month for her job, and she's like, "There's so many goddamn foreigners, and they're just in the fucking way."
dude. All right, see, the thing is, you got to do what I do. For the Shibuya Scramble, you don't go above ground to cross it. You go underground. Two things. If you go underground, you've got like a fraction of the amount of people. I mean, it's like nobody uses the underground, right? So use the underground to cross the intersection, and also you don't have to wait for the light. I always do it. If I'm not riding a bike, that's what I do.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I 100% agree with you. But at the same time, like she's like old school Japanese, and she's just set in her fucking ways, and I don't mess with it, dude.
Fair enough.
I get you. You're right, but like she's just like that. Oh, there's another thing. Like how'd she go scramble? I think I think it was last. It might have been about a year ago, but like we were with our kid. We're like walking through there. It was on a Sunday. It was nice weather. We're going to like Yogi Park for some like car show or whatever. And
Yeah.
like we're just like there in the morning, and like there was just like line around the block where actually all the foreigners were like queued up nicely just to take pictures with Hachiko. My
Oh,
wife's like,
yeah.
my wife's like looking at me. He's like, "Is it that big a deal?" I guess. I have to explain to my wife that I've been here so goddamn long that I don't even know like what is or isn't cool for tourists because I'm not even fucking tourist. We live here.
Yeah. You know what the thing is? That's not even the real Hachiko. The real statue was melted down during World War II and stuff, or bullets or whatnot. And the thing is, that's not even the right location where Hachiko originally was. Hachiko was actually closer to the street facing towards Sentagai, right? So people coming in would see the statue of Hachiko, right? So then they moved it, and well, first they melted it down, and then they rebuilt it and stuff after they're like redeveloping Shibuya way back in like the 50s. And then they moved it like to that area, which is kind of out of the way, which is a better location to be honest. So yeah, that's kind of funny. But
Okay, just to back you up on this, yes, what you're saying is correct, but like, how do you say
no.
like the myth of the legend is always better than the truth?
Mhm.
So we're just gonna go with it, right?
Let's do it. All right. Speaking of going, man, let's take a little break. And when we come back, let's get into the news because we got a lot of news. We haven't done the news in a while because like whenever I have like guests on the show, like I'm just like the guest is always so interesting, so fascinating. I don't want to like mess up like the vibe or like, you know, kind of like the flow of the podcast. So we don't do the news. We just talk about like you know, the guest and what the guest is doing and stuff. So I think right now would be a perfect opportunity to hit into some of this news, which we actually did kind of cover the news. I mean, Shin Shin, the massive typhoon. What, you got something you want to talk about? Something? What was that?
Cover the news. Sorry, I'm not trying to talk over you, but like, apologies, connection's not great. Gotta do it on mine Zoom. Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. We got to do it on Zoom. You said you live like 2 hours away. So you good with the news, bro?
I am like I'm ready, but like, can I take a quick piss break and we'll jump back into the news?
Yeah, that's what I said. Let's take a little break. Okay, so finish. We're gonna take a little break here, and I'm gonna get more coffee, and Time is gonna relieve himself. And when we get back, we've got the news. All right, Faders, thank you so much. Enjoy our sponsors. Peace. Whoa, look at all this. Hey, what's up? I'm Johnny, aka the SPILT Ink, the one and only, and today I'm going to make a popsicle painting. I'm really excited to do this. I've got all my paints here. It takes about this much paint to make a popsicle painting, and I've got my two other most important ingredients. Very strong hot coffee. Oh, actually, that's not that hot, but still, it's strong coffee. And I've got punk rock music. With these two things, nothing could go wrong. All right, with that said, let's rock.
You are liked.
You are like wanted.
You are liked, wanted, and loved.
If you want to get off the beaten path at Tokyo and have an unforgettable experience in Japan, well then, Gamuso welcomes you. Have a drink, enjoy a conversation, and make new friends with the locals at Gamuso. Gamuso provides fun and entertainment of all kinds, from live bands, stand-up comedy performances, to art exhibitions. There's always something exciting happening at Gamuso. Gamuso is located in the heart of Tokyo and just a comfortable 3-minute walk from Asagaya. So come on down to Gamuso. We look forward to meeting you.
And we are back, faders, and we are back with the news. And we've got a lot of great news for you. And yes, without further ado, I'm going to begin with the first article. Here we go. Japan cyclists to be punished for riding drunk, phone use from November. Story takes place in October. Japan decided on Friday to implement its revised Road Traffic Act on November 1st, introducing prison terms and fines for those cycling under the influence of alcohol or posing a danger to traffic by using a mobile phone while on their bike. The government also decided to enable police to order repeat offenders to take a mandatory course on cycling safety, a measure expected to take effect on the same day. If convicted, those found cycling while using the phone could be given a prison term of up to 6 months for using your phone, or a fine of 100,000 yen, which is like I don't know, $600 now. Currently, it's $600, maybe less soon. If they pose a danger to pedestrians or traffic, they could be given a prison term of up to 1 year or a fine of 300,000 yen. Holy smokes. Those convicted of cycling above the established road alcohol driving limit could face a term of up to 3 years in prison or a 500,000 yen fine. Yeah, they're not messing around anymore with people drinking and driving on their bicycles. Oh my goodness. So yeah, going to prison for 3 years because you had 2 beers before you got on your bicycle. Holy smokes. Forget about that, man. And I don't drink and drive at all. It's just something I don't do. But the thing is though, at least these days, the thing is though, using your phone, that's kind of general because I mean, if you're on your bike, sometimes you need to use maps. So you stop and you look at your maps and you try to mess around or something like that. Is that considered? Or listening to music? What's up?
Because like my wife, like we're getting to know, because again we just moved, like it's kind of the same as the car laws. Like if you got like the holder for your phone, so you're not allowed to, like, drive a car or a bike and talk on the phone. But if you got one of the holders, and also people obviously use it for GPS, so you've got like a holder for it, you can just go ding 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 ding. I want to go here, and then it just guides you. Like
Yeah.
that's considered acceptable.
That's acceptable. What
Yeah.
about music?
Well, my again, like, not too much background, but like my wife's like super old school Japanese where she's got to follow all the fucking rules. So my wife does that, and like in all fairness, like we're new to the area, we don't know our fucking way around.
Yeah.
So she does that in the Mama Charlie, which is like the mama bike with like the baby seat in the back, and she just like zips around. Well, not even zips around, I guess, just kind of like around, and like she uses the GPS to find shit.
Yeah,
That's considered acceptable.
That's acceptable. What about music? Because I listen to podcasts. I don't like trains.
Mm-hmm.
I despise trains. I mean, I love trains, but I don't like trains. It's a love-hate situation for me. It's crazy. I got problems. But the thing is, I love riding a bike and I love listening to podcasts while I ride a bike. I listen to so many podcasts, dude. If you look at my phone, the list of podcasts that I listen to, it's absolutely insane, dude. I love podcasts. I'm a podcast freak. So the thing is just like, I mean, if you can't listen to music or podcasts while you're riding a bike, I'm gonna have to buy like I don't know, an Apple Ghetto Blaster or something.
No, see, that's considered acceptable because if you put the earphones on, like again, like Japanese people are very polite and they keep to themselves. So if you've got the headphones on, like, earbuds or whatever, like you're good.
Really?
You're
I'm cool with these laws.
you're not causing a nuisance. You're not bothering anybody. If you're just like cycling down the street, you got your podcast, you got fucking Joe Rogan or whatever, you're good.
All right, cool. All right, next story.
All right, like I can't actually find this story now. I really wish like I could, but like I want to talk about like I found this fucking story that unfortunately I thought I saved it, but I didn't. But like some dude's like bitching about being an ALT and not making any money.
Yeah, no shit.
I just want to break it down, like how pathetic that is. This guy's been like, I've been in Japan almost 20 years and I have this shitty ALT. This is like ALT, assistant language teacher, which you're shipped off, you're outsourced to go to the junior high schools.
Uh-huh.
And like, it's not great wages. Well, back in the day, that was actually my first real job in Japan. Like back in the day, like when I was in the countryside where cost of living was low, I didn't make big bucks, but like it wasn't bad. But like some dude's bitching, like, oh, I've been doing this, and like the salary goes down every year, and I can't go out with friends, I can't do this, I just live like a hermit, and blah blah blah. And I'm reading it, and I did some follow-up research for it. Unfortunately, I can't like I'm paraphrasing, but like it's like, dude, get another fucking job.
Dude,
Like,
all right. Completely agree with you on this. Completely agree with you on this. But if you're not reading the news, we should just move on because this is like gossip.
all right.
This is gossip. Right, right. Part 2, Tom. Next story.
All right. I found this one pretty interesting. Nikkei reporter arrested after texting man at Japan news outlet 64 times. Well, she obviously should have texted him 69 times. Hint, hint.
Dun.
Tokyo police have arrested a female reporter for the Nihon Keizai Shimbun Business Daily on suspicion of violating the Anti-Stalker Act for allegedly texting a male reporter at another media outlet 64 times, it has been learned. Aoi Hanazawa, 33, was arrested by the Metropolitan Police Department, Honjo Police Station, on August 26, according to sources close to the investigation. Hanazawa specifically stands accused of texting the reporter in his 30s, working for another news outlet a total of 64 times between August 17th and the 25th, using chat functions of the PayPay email app. She allegedly sent him a text message saying, quote unquote, I want to see you. The suspect was quoted by telling the police, it's true that I sent him messages, but I thought I'd been accepted as he didn't block me. I'm not convinced by the accusations.
Well, you better get a lawyer quick.
He didn't block me, but that which is actually kind of true because yes and no, because like they're not quick to block, but like a lot Japanese are too polite. They will tend to, if they're not interested, they will tend to ghost you.
Dude, I block people all the time. I get all sorts of weird requests and stuff. People send me off to the stuff that I get. Yeah, I'm like, block, delete, sayonara. That's what I do.
I don't like doing it because like I feel like kind of a dick, even if they're weird. But like, yeah, I've had to block a few people. But like, I don't know, like just you got a female stalker, so it's not some fucking creeper dude. So I guess like both genders can creep.
Oh yeah, everybody creeps. But the thing is, it's just like, dude, Tom, you've got a family, you've got a job, you've got a life. I mean, you've got hobbies. Dude, you don't have time to read 64 emails from somebody. I mean, shoot, when my friend sends me like 3 emails in a day, I'm like, block.
I don't know, man. Maybe you should have sexted it. Maybe you should have sort of sent a couple nudes or a couple risque pictures, and maybe the reception might have been a bit warmer. Just saying.
Possibly. She could go old school and send like a picture of like her ankle. I guess that's acceptable. All right. Next story. All right. Speaking of stalking, I guess this is the stalking episode. Woman arrested for posing as Bill Gates's daughter to defraud man. I didn't think Bill Gates held any water anymore. I mean, he's so old, it's just like, if you say Bill Gates, people are like, who? Bill Gates? What did he do? I know the name. Anyway.
He's still kind of once in a while because he does charity stuff and a bunch of other stuff. But no, actually, because he's got a PR team working stuff, so he'll pop up once in a while and say blah blah blah. I think blah 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 or whatever.
He's still in the news here in Japan.
Really? Not in Japan, but I think like in other news outlets I've read.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, this is Japan.
I don't know, man. I'm hardly an expert, but go ahead.
Here we go. Chiba. Police in Togane, Chiba Prefecture, have arrested a 46-year-old unemployed woman on suspicion of fraud after she posed online as the daughter of Microsoft co-founder Bill Gates to con a man in a fake investment scheme, aka a Ponzi scheme. According to police, Tomoko Kawano posed online as Phobes Gates. between April 7th and April 25th and defrauded a man in his 60s living in Fukushima Prefecture, whom she met through social media, of 3.1 million yen in cash. Hardcore cold cash. Kawano communicated with the man on Facebook, Facebook, always Facebook, and told him, quote, if you invest $20,000 in my father, Bill Gates, you will get $2 million. If you come to America, you can meet me, end quote. The man, who was reportedly asked to make a deposit, became suspicious and contacted the police. After an investigation, police found that the account was in Kawano's name. Kawano, who was arrested on Tuesday, was quoted by police as saying that she was invited to do an illicit part-time job. Police are questioning her on who set up the operation. I'm assuming she set it up. She's taking care of the whole thing. And yeah, she messed up because nobody in their right mind would say, hey, Bill Gates is my dad and he needs money. One of the richest men in the world needs just a little bit of cash, just $20,000. He needs it for a new project. He's inventing the supercomputer. What do you think, Tom? Thoughts?
Oh, come on, like it's an obvious scam. But like then again, I kind of feel bad because like how old was the dude again? Because he's fucking old. He probably doesn't understand this internet newfangled stuff. You know, so
he's in Fukuoka too, so kind of old school. Yeah.
I hate to say it with some of the old folks, like, you know, some of them just like don't get out and have a human connection, so their mind, some of their mind's getting a little bit soft. You know what I'm saying? So
maybe.
And then maybe he was just lonely. Maybe it was like, you know, a little bit of sexy. Maybe she was showing an ankle.
No, dude. No. Bill Gates, if he had a daughter, is not going to be Bill Gates is the super nerd, okay? Like the Kingo Primo super nerd of all the nerds and stuff, dude. His daughter is not going to be hot. So for this guy to be like, oh yeah, Bill Gates' daughter, oh yeah, take my money. No, it's not going to happen. No way to.
The only thing that would I agree with you on that, because the only thing that would make you wet your chops about that is like the fucking inheritance paycheck, right? Like even when he was like household name and like, you know, fucking like the driving force behind Microsoft, like I think he was still cutting his own hair. It's like, dude, you're like a billionaire, like you ain't got people for that.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. But the thing is, though, one thing that I've learned about like the super rich, like the super rich, they do weird things like that. Like, for example, like I mean, oh, look at Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, I mean, he was like a multi like millionaire, right? I mean, even possibly a billionaire before he died. And in his house, he had minimal furniture. He wore like the same jeans every day, you know? I mean, he had a Casio watch. I mean, dude, the guy didn't care. You know, he's like, money doesn't mean shit, man. I'm on a project. I'm on a thing that I'm doing, man. I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission from God, you know? So.
Oh, dude, yeah. I've heard some weird things about Steve, especially even before he was like, you know, he was like the big deal that he eventually became. But like, he was fucking weird. He went on this like vegan fruitarian, like yeah, and he wasn't bathing, and he had to be switched to the night shift because he fucking stank, and he was like dipping his feet in the toilet to take foot baths. It was just like some weirdo shit. It's like, yeah, it's just like you're reading this going, are you fucking serious?
It's like Howard Hughes.
Yeah, because like I think when you're that intelligent, like there's just like fine line between like crazy and genius, and I think sometimes like I think a lot of these people have like a 1 foot planted firmly in both both provinces, like, you know, the crazy and the genius. It's like out there.
True that. Okay, next story.
Okay, that's some weird stuff, that gross stuff that I kind of don't agree with. But at the same time, you could argue the same thing about you and me and like all the other expatriates living around here for like 20 plus years, or even 10, or even 5.
Oh, we're weird. We're very weird. We talk weird. We speak funny.
No, but you have to be like, to survive and thrive. There's got to be something like a little bit different about the way your brain's wired.
Yeah, totally. Dude, I'm an artist, man. Look at my shit.
I know, but you know, I'm a fucking writer. And you know, was a DJ. I've been doing this and that. But like, yeah, you got to be like a little bit fucking out there to want to be, you know, want to be doing this shit and like living like you know very unconventional life. But like, fuck, man, that's the thing. But like, you mean like you know Anthony H, like you know Brian, like all their fucking mutual friends we've got like roaming around here, like. We realize that we're all fucking weird and we're all a little bit out there, but like, yeah, but we can hang out and do cool stuff and just be weird to fucking together and enjoy each other's.
It's our charm. It's our charm. Next story, Tom. Next story.
Speaking of weirdness, I thought you might appreciate this one, but like, I think this one's just kind of funny and weird. Like, there's some serious like fucked up stories, but let's just keep it weird and funny. Like, while we're on topic.
Sure.
Yomiuri Shimbun cameraman detained for kicking skateboarder. Don't do that. That shit ain't cool.
That ain't cool. That's like old school bully. It's like skater hater stuff or whatever, right?
He is right. Yomiuri Shimbun employee has been arrested on the spot for assaulting a man who was skateboarding. Oh, don't do that. Not fucking cool. We're into the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department just before 11 p.m. on August 23rd. A man in his 30s who works as a cameraman for Yomiuri Shimbun's Tokyo headquarters rode his bicycle to the scene. Like bikers versus skaters. There, he picked a fight with 3 men who were skateboarding and kicked one of them in the leg. Here's where it gets funny. Although he attempted to escape, he was arrested on the spot after punching another man who chased after him. Subsequent allegations and investigations have revealed the man's selfish remark to the skateboarders. Yomiuri Shimbun employee in his 30s. It's not fair that I'm working while others are playing. He's just being a kid.
Dude, what a schmuck.
In response, some members of the public have expressed criticism. People should be free to use their time as they choose, which I agree with. It's wrong to take out frustration on others, one man said. Another man commented, maybe his job isn't enjoyable and he's just seeing this as a way like that makes fun of like how he's feeling. Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department has stated that while skateboarding on busy roads can be a violation, it is not necessary on other roads that are not busy. So otherwise, the police are cool with this shit. It's like, you know, if you don't like this typical Japan, like, you know, if you mind your own business and you're not fucking with other people, it's like, hey, you want to skateboard on a not busy road? Fucking have fun. Who cares? You ain't hurting nobody, right?
That's true. That's true. And skateboarding now is like extremely popular. Like because like what? Not this Summer Olympics, but the previous Summer Olympics, like the golds went to all the way. The golds went to the men's gold was a Japanese dude, and the women's gold was a Japanese woman, right? If I remember correctly. So I mean, because of that, like I mean, skateboarding now is like kind of becoming like a national pastime. Need more coffee, but yeah, we've got skate parks all over the place now. Like, I mean, there's like skaters that hang out over here on the corner, not corner, but like about a block away by the park and stuff. And like, I mean, if you go to, what's the old Olympic park? The one that's in Segenjaya, that's near Segenjaya. What is that? Kagoshima Park? What is it?
I know what you're talking about, but I actually don't know the name. But I never learned any fucking names. It's like that park over there. Like,
it's like a massive park. Oh, dude, it's at the tip of my tongue. I can't think of it right now. But anyway, that park has a huge skate park where they have like all these like half pipes and quarter pipes and all this stuff set up or whatever. At Nike Park over in Shibuya, they used to have like a skate park over there or whatever. So there's skate parks all over the place. People love skateboarding. And it's not just for kids. There's like people that skateboard in their like 40s and 50s and stuff, you know? So, and I think that's pretty cool. I think it's really cool. It's great to see something that was so like hated when I was a kid to be something that's so awesome now. Maybe I should skateboard again.
they have like a bunch of like it's children friendly. There's a lot of stuff like there's like little kid bikes and it's like you know things they can do, but they put up a bunch of like ramps and stuff where you can skateboard. And there's a fair amount of people doing that. Like we used to go to that one once in a while. It was close to Domino's Pizza, so we might have pizza and like there's ice cream vendors as well. But like yeah, like I think like
is it Komazawa Park? I think it's Komazawa Park.
Oh yeah.
Is that it? Yeah, Komazawa Park. I got it. I knew it. I knew it was up here somewhere. Oh man.
I forgot. Dude, I've been so many places. I've forgotten all the shit. But no, but like, yeah, you're right. Especially, I think the big breakout star was like the Japanese girl. I forgot her name, but like, what? She was like fucking 14. She got a gold medal in skateboarding.
Yeah, no, it was like last summer, like the last Summer Olympics. Yeah, there's like 2 gold. Of course, there's two gold medals. There's 2 gold medals that went to 2 Japanese people who are skateboarders. So, okay, next story. Next story.
Not only that, man, like she was hanging out with fucking Tony Hawk, and she's like, "Who's this weird old dude hanging out with me?" That was like a joke, and she had to clarify, like, "No, I'm a skateboarder. I totally know who fucking Tony Hawk is."
Okay, great. Next story, Tom. We're running out of time, dude.
Oh man, I thought it was your turn. I just read the story. It's your go.
Okay, all right, last story. Here we go. Foreign tourists arrested for having sex on Japan shrine grounds in broad daylight. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, one of the rules in Japan is don't have sex anywhere near a shrine. That's bad. You go straight to hell for that. Okay, are you ready for this one, Tom?
It might be.
Okay, here we go. Much has been written. Oh, it's one of these articles that's written like somebody's talking. Oh, I hate these. Just give us the facts. It's an article. It's in the news. Okay. Much has been written and many hands wrung over the obtuse etiquette of Japanese culture. In reality, though, for foreign tourists traveling in Japan, common sense will get you pretty far, to say the least. Say please and thank you, of course. If you're stopping somewhere to check a map or dig through your bag, move to the side of the walkway so other people can get by. Refrain from humping in broad daylight at religious sites. Funny. Humping, who says that? The person who wrote this article is 80. Apparently, that last social manner point was a bit too hard for a 61-year-old Australian tourist to adhere to, and was a social norm a Japanese female acquaintance of his willing to break as well. At 11:35 in the morning on August 23rd, the police in the town of Keisenuma, Miyagi Prefecture, received a call reporting that 2 people were having sex on the grounds of a shrine. Though the shrine is in a heavy populated area, the witness reported that the pair was engaged in the act in the open and easy to be seen in a location. It's worth noting that especially outside of big cities, it can sometimes be kind of hard to determine the exact boundaries of a shrine grounds. With Shinto's roots in the determination of nature, shrines are often located in forests or in mountains, and smaller or older shrines often consist little more than a freestanding gate and shed, blah, 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 blah. God, this just goes on. We just want to get to the good part. Jesus, I hate it when someone tries to be artistic. Here, stop taking artistic liberties and write the article correctly. Okay, moving forward. That doesn't appear to have been the case in the Keisenuma incident. However, as the witness says, the Australian man was leaning against the shrine, here we go, building up while engaging in the act. This seems like a good time to remain for everyone that conceptually Japan is well aware of the fact that sometimes people have a sudden need for a place to have sex. That's weird, but okay. And the fact that there's an entire industry for it with quote unquote love hotels that rent out rooms at reasonable hourly rates. A quick Google search can turn up at least 2 in the area. The pair now faces charges for disrespecting the place of worship, with the woman, a Keisenuma resident in her 40s, already admitting guilt. The man, on the other hand, has said that he would not make a statement until he has a lawyer present, and after deeming a flight risk, has been placed under arrest and taken into custody. Oh man, dude, that's crazy. Okay, well, first things first, I want to say, all right, if you're going to write an article for a newspaper or for a news like website, don't write it like it's a story. Don't put in your 2 cents. Just write the facts. Nobody cares about how well you can write because usually you can't. And the thing is, nobody cares. Nobody cares. We just want the facts. I don't know. What do you think, Tom? Not on like the writing, but on like, having sex in public.
It seems like this comes out like almost every episode, but like some of the stories are fucking great. They're so good you can't make this shit up. Like we could not make it up. But I agree, some of them are just written fucked up. Either they're very poorly translated and almost nonsensical, which sometimes that's kind of fun. We can play around and just like insert our own details. Some of them just go these like long spiels and they're long winded and they just try to like I don't take weird creative liberties. It's like, oh, what are you doing, dude?
Give me the facts. An Australian man and a girl, an acquaintance, which AKA means lady of the night, possibly. And yeah, basically they were doing their thing around a shrine, and it didn't. So the shrine. So this is kind of like in the suburbs where you're at, but in a different prefecture. So I'm assuming that like, well, I don't know if it's a shrine, it's got to have a gate because usually most shrines have a gate, right? Like a gate that surrounds it that blocks it off from like like public land to like spiritual land, right?
Right.
So I
No,
mean.
you're right. It's zoned off. There should be a wall or some kind of marker designating it's this.
What were
But
they thinking?
but at the same time, most of these like most of them have like there's like property. There's like a yard usually maintained with some nature and other stuff. So that could be the shrine's property. Right? What did it say? Like he was leaving it up against the shrine. Again, details kind of matter. So
Yeah, exactly.
Specifics like I would assume the way it was written, maybe they were on the outside of the shrine. He was kind of leaning up the wall because he's fucking 61 years old, so he's like
I'm on vacation.
vacation is like I want to do the deed, but I don't want to put too much work. Old heart can't take it. I'm all coked up on Viagra and whatnot, right?
Oh, jeez.
Don't
Yeah,
want to have a heart attack in the shrine. Although that said, if the dude had a heart attack, he probably would definitely be going to hell for this one.
Oh God, yes. Oh my God, yeah. This guy's going straight down, dude. Oh God. But then again, I mean, if they did it in Shibuya, probably nothing would have happened, except for they would have been on like a million TikToks.
YouTubes or whatever. People are like, yeah, fuck it.
Oh my God. Another thing though, I mean, if the girl's like a Japanese local, she should know that there's like cameras all over every shrine. I mean, even the shrines around here, the smaller ones and stuff, there's still like cameras everywhere. I mean, if you walk in the grounds, eventually somebody like within the next like 5 minutes is going to come out and be like, oh, hello. So it's just like,
I don't know. I think but like, I'm gonna have to politely disagree with you on this. But like, I think for some of the major ones, the big ones, they obviously have to.
mhm.
A lot of the older ones, like especially outside a little bit of the country in the suburbs, they don't want to because they think it ruins the aesthetic.
Yeah, you're right. Well, the cameras are
And then,
small.
again, like Japan's polite society, there's a high expectation of the general public to politely, basically not be a fucking dick and disrespect the shrines like this way. So they kind of assume people are on like good-ish behavior, right?
Mhm.
Again, some tourists obviously didn't get the memo in this case.
Well, then again, this guy's 61 years old and he's alone. He might be a businessman. Maybe back in Australia, he's got a wife and 3 kids. Their kids are probably about our age. And he's got a house or whatever. He's in Japan. He's having business. It's like his last day. It's like 10 o'clock in the morning, which means he's probably drinking all night at a hostess bar or whatnot or whatever. Finds a girl. She's walking him to his hotel or something like that. And he's like, hey, you take Visa? one thing leads one thing leads to another, and now he's in jail, and he's like, I'm not saying anything until I get a lawyer, which means, I mean, he still hasn't had a lawyer because, I mean, if this article is out and he hasn't had a lawyer, he's probably been in there for a while. And so I mean, dude, yeah, his life is over. He goes back to Australia, he's like, honey, I was framed.
Another reason is like about the thing is like about having alert. A lot of people like fess up because the cops will put a lot of pressure. If you fess up, like yeah, you're still found guilty, but the like a lot of times if you fess up early on, they'll let you off with like a slap on the wrist.
Really?
So, yeah, if you lawyer up, which is probably in this guy's best interest because he would probably get fucked as a foreigner. But the lady's probably right for doing what she did. Like she'll get in trouble, but like she'll get like let off lightly. But like for him, like as a tourist, especially if you're a fucking tourist, you're a guy, and you get potentially fucked. The only problem with that is he could be all held up, up to 6 or 7 weeks.
Well, I don't
What?
think he's gonna do any time for this. I think basically he's gonna get like well, I mean, he's kind of doing time right now, but the thing is like I think he's definitely gonna get a major fine, probably like maybe anywhere from 100,000 yen to maybe maximum 500,000 yen, I think. You know?
Quite possibly because Japan doesn't kind of want to deal with it. Like he's probably gonna get fleeced. He's probably gonna have to pay off some fees. They're also probably gonna tell him like, don't ever fucking come back to Japan.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, he'll get put on a list.
But
So,
don't worry, like I can mention that I read like this is like way before I met you, like way before I did the podcast, and this got like circulated around the office room, the job I was doing. But it was fucking hilarious. Like some businessman went out, got like I think he was on the tail end of his business trip. He went out like partied hard, had a couple of days off after closing a successful business deal. He got fucking managed to pick up a lady of the night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. But like rather than I don't know, take her back to his hotel room or a love hotel or fucking whatever, he decided it'd be a great idea like for him and her to break into like a factory that had been closed down, condemned.
Oof.
And apparently they were both fucking wasted. They got into a huge fucking argument. So like they broke into this place, they were gonna do the deed, and they didn't. I don't know, they were arguing about price or who fucking knows. They were both wasted. She fucking took off, and he tried to leave the place drunk, and he couldn't find his way out. And he got stuck in the mud. And so this is like pre like smartphone era, but he was still on the flip phone. So he's fucking calling the cops, going, "Oh, I'm stuck. Help me!" The dude was like stuck in fucking mud. They had to fucking send out search parties and helicopters. He got in so much trouble. Like this is on the news. It was everything. It was fucking great. It was like such what a fucking humiliating story. I'm sure he probably got banned from Japan, but it was like, dude, like as far as stories, man, I wish this would have happened like a couple of years later when we're still in the podcast. We covered it because we had like a fucking would have had a great laugh about this one.
That's a good one, man. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Well, totally. Speaking of good laughs, man, I had a lot of good laughs, and faders, I hope you guys had a lot of good laughs today too. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's see, plugs. Yes, if you like Got Faded Japan, we're all over the internet, all over SNS, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. We got a Patreon. If you want to give us a couple of bucks, we definitely take your money. We got to buy coffee. We got to buy booze. We got to keep this show going. And yeah, tell a friend about Got Faded Japan. Like copy this, post it, give it to a friend. Man, like if you're on a road trip or something at this tail end of the summer or whatever, I don't know, play it in the car, play it in the bus, play it loud. And Tom, dude, thank you so much for taking the time and coming out, dude. I know your schedule is super busy, so it's really hard to like podcast with you, but every time I do, man, I'm always happy. It makes my heart just a little bit bigger like the Grinch.
Oh, yeah, man. Like I'm saying, man, like I know it's difficult with scheduling because I know you're busy as well. Like that's unfortunate because like I'd like to be back more often, but like respect, I understand you got your own shit going on too as well. So like I don't know, like I'll try to be back more often. Like my schedule is like somewhat stable-ish. So maybe we can discuss some other stuff like off the air and see if I can come back in maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and like let's try to do it more often than once a month.
Yeah, whatever you want, man. I mean, geez, everything you're always working. So yeah, and you got a family. So anyway, don't put that shit on me, dude. All right. Faders, thank you so much for tuning in. It's great to hang out with you. We hope you enjoyed this coffee podcast. Yay, coffee kampai. Boom. And we'll definitely catch you next time. Peace.